Hey, what's up guys, Joshua Bush here and welcome back to another One Piece gameplay video. Today I have a match from locals. This was the third round, both undefeated. It's me on the left playing Mono Green Kid, against on the right Mono Purple Kaido, which we see going first here. I'm going second. And he actually passes turn after hedging the Dom, but I have a super broken start with Bonnie and Momonosuke both. So basically the best start you can have. That being said, Kaido is definitely the hardest matchup in the current meta, I think, for kids. And you're going to see that this match is going to be very, very rough for me. But yeah, we'll get there. So he's going to... he put down Hold'em there, but then it was like, oh, I prefer to attack first before playing down Hold'em. Because there could be a potential trigger in the security that rests the Hold'em, of course. So that's fine. Of course, it's just local, so I let him take that back. And that was fine. There, I'm going to go Bonnie to deck for a Supernova card. And this matchup, you have to play the green deck a lot different than in other matchups, I think. Where in other matchups you can easily go white and control the board with your strong high drop cards. In this matchup, you'd rather just have like one or two guys on the field, so you can't really go for the 8-drop kit and the Okiku and stuff like that. You have to play really conservatively to not get absolutely blown out by the 10-drop Kaido. So if you're wondering why I'm playing a little bit weirdly this game, it might look like that is going to be why. We see me swinging in with the 6k, but getting a 2k counter there. And then just playing Veggie, making use of all the Don in this turn, which is very nice. But going to attack my Momonosuke with his Hold'em, which I'm going to allow because I'd rather have the Bonnie than the Momonosuke. Then, so when he swings with the Kaido, I can block it with the Veggie. Then he's going to go for the Onigashima, which is the best card in the deck, right? Basically every time your opponent's like, I'm definitely keeping this hand without any consideration, you know they have this card in their hands. And then he's going to play the Higurashi, I think it's called, the blocker 2-drop. I'm going to dig some more with the Bonnie, which is going to add me another Capone. This card is both good to protect your body, but also in the late game after they've done the field wipe, it's very, very good because then you can just play it down. And they won't be able to king it usually, because they won't be able to play the 7-drop king anyway. I'm going to out the blocker here by playing down the Nekomamushi. And now my kid can just easily swing over it if I want to, do a little bit of a think there. But yeah, quite sure I'm just going to do that, not using any of the Don. And I think my hand is really good because it has like Paradise Waterfall and the Punk Gibson as well, which is one of the reasons why I decided to keep this hand. Because I definitely think those event cards are very important in this matchup in the late game. I'm going to use one to play down the Capone. Regardless, he will be able to swing with both his guys to outman Bonnie if he wants to. So yeah, I'm going to swing with the Hold'em. And I probably should have just let this go, to be honest, because now he can swing with the Kaido into my... into the Bonnie anyway, to out it. I probably should have just let it go and just keep the Capone for a potential Kaido attack. In the end, it didn't really matter though, but in hindsight. Now, Queen is going to come down the 6-cost blocker. And also going to draw to discard 1. Which is very nice to get some cycle, because the purple, aside from discard, I think doesn't really have a lot of draw power or searching capabilities. And the 6k blocker is also just really strong, right? Because it means that every time I'm attacking with the leader, I will need to use at least one Don to at least threaten something. Because if not, he can just literally block and he doesn't even have to use a counter ability. So that Queen definitely very, very strong. And it also is like quite threatening because it can just attack with 6k. So I will need to use a 2k counter every time to stop the attack. So yeah, very strong cards. And like I said, I'm going to put it down under the kit and swing into... I think I'm just swinging into Kaido here. To the leader, but he's going to just use a 2k counter to keep his Queen active. And now I'm just going to use my remaining 7 Don to play down the Structure the Captain kit. And now you're going to see I'm basically just going to be playing leader and Structure the Captain kit control once again, just to play around that nasty Kaido. Even though my opponent is obviously going to try to make me go wider by playing, by using that Queen. And I think, if I remember correctly, we'll be seeing another Queen come down as well. Okay, he's going to swing with the Kaido here. I'm going to opt to just let that go because I don't want to be losing out the blocker kit to a swing from Queen. And if I block now, I will also have to use a counter. It's going to go Sasaki, 5k swing, and I'm going to pitch Raizo just a 1k counter, and then he's going to use 6 Don again to bring out the queen, and once again put the Don back to draw 2, discard 1, but the Onigashima gave him so many Don, right? So he's really quite ahead of the regular Don curve by now. So yeah, we saw him go for the Onigashima, but he's going to play down the Higurashi there. And I am going to finally hit the 10 Don mark. So this is where the game actually starts, right? Before this, it's all just, you know, pretty easy. But I really think that once both players have reached the 10 Don mark, the game becomes really complicated and interesting. I'm actually going to boost the Nekomamushi to 4 to swing into the Hold'em. Now, if he decides to block with one of the queens, I'm going to try to outboth the queens, of course, with my attackers. And he's actually going to do that, which is very nice. So that means that now I can try to play the control game a little bit more without going too wide. And I'm going to swing at 8k at the queen, but he's going to block with the 2-drop blocker, of course. And now I will probably be boosting up my kit to go after his queen once again. I'm going to boost it to 8k, so he will have to use at least 2 cards from his hand to stop this attack, which he's actually not going to do. He's actually going to take it. And now I have 3 Don left. But if I remember, oh no, I have 5 Don left. Sorry, yeah, I was 1 step ahead. So, yeah, I'm going to use 3 Don to restand my kit and go a little bit aggro to out this Hold'em. So it's actually not aggro though, it's just more, even more control-y, right? Because the Hold'em is kind of a threat because it can swing into the leader with just 1 Don, which is annoying. So my opponent still was at 5 life here while I'm still at 3. So he's definitely ahead. Going to swing with the Rush Queen here with 7k, I think. No, I think it's more. I think it's like 8k, 9k. A little bit hard to tell here. However, I'm going to be blocking and then going to use Paradise Waterfall, right? So boost to 9 and or put it active and then another 1000. So he was at 9k, right? And I boost up my kit to 10k and also restand it, which is very nice. That Paradise Waterfall in combination with the kit, so good, right? Now Kaido is going to swing into my Nekomamushi, my cat, with just 5k. And I think I'm going to, yeah, just let this through. And now he's going to end this turn by playing the Black Maria, which is another blocker. So quite relentless here, playing down all these blockers. He does, however, just have 2 cards left in his hand, which is, at least that's something. Which means he won't be able to counter that easily. Supposedly, anyway. Going to swing 8k into the Rush Queen there. And now I still have 9 Don left to play with. Once again, I just don't want to go too wide. We do know I still have the Okiku in hand. Or no, I just discarded with the kit effect. Yeah. I just don't want to commit anything to the field, to be honest. Going to be swinging with 8k into the leader here. He opts not to block with the queen, which makes sense because I really feel like he doesn't have any counters at this moment. Or if he does, he would have used both his hand cards to stop the attack, right? I'm just going to swing again with the kit, using its ability. Pitching a Capone, actually. That's interesting, but I think I had another one in hand. Not 100% sure, and I'm just going to leave 2 Don unrested, it looks like here. Or is it 3 Don? I think it's 3 Don. X-Ray going to come down, which is... sometimes that card is really good. Going to force me to ditch a 2k counter, and at this moment my opponent remarked like, you know, if I am pitching that card, my hand must be really good. And yes, it was definitely. I think my hand at this moment was something like Iso, Paradise Waterfall, Punk Gibson or something like that. He still has 3 cards in hand. Going to swing with Kaido here. Boost the 2. 7k, I think. I'm just going to take the damage and he's going to pass the turn here. Just 3 cards in hand, right? So there's probably not that much he can do. Putting the X-Ray on the field is fair though. Because it is 5,000 power, so the X-Ray can easily start swinging at my leader if he wants to. I'm once again going to swing 8k at the opponent's leader, which he's going to take. Still 9 Don to work with. And probably everything will be going into my leader again. Just going to swing with 6k here, which is also going to take, leaving me with 8 Don unused for the turn. It looks like I'm finally going to commit something to the field here. Ah, right, I do remember this. Yeah, I'm going to play down the law and not even be able to use this unplayability. I mean, I am able to use it, but I don't want to bounce back the kid to my hand to play out a 3-drop, right? So I'm just not going to do that. Just want to put the blocker on the field because I'm getting quite low to life and I don't want to get suddenly blown out by the Kaido using his leader ability. He's going to swing with the X-Drake here. I'm going to block with the law. Now he's going to swing with Kaido. Yeah, at this moment, I basically made the read that he has the 10-drop Kaido in his hand. Because he's just not boosting any of his guys, right? So I'm gonna be doing it here. I'm going to be blocking and then use the Paradise Waterfall to unsuspend my kid. Because, yeah, I knew he was going to attack with the Queen, basically. Which he does here. So, yeah, I don't take any damage. And now he's going to be dropping the 10-drop Kaido. Which it does put a lot of pressure on and does find out my 7-drop kids. However, I was waiting for this, basically the entire mid game, because as you're going to be seeing, I have another 7-drop kit in my hand, which I'm now finally going to be able to drop. Well, I could have dropped it earlier, but it wouldn't have been good, right? So I definitely think I played it out pretty well considering the matchup. But if you don't think so, be sure to let me know. But I think this is like a good way to buy the queen into this matchup. Going to swing with Kid 5k, get blocked or countered by the Black Maria, and exactly there he is. Structure that Captain Kid coming down again. And I think... yeah, exactly. Like I said, I had another component badge in hand, so I'm just going to play that down. Because that means I will be able to tank one of his attacks, and I can use the component to block the other one and still have the... keep the blocker kid on my field, because that card's super strong. Be able to swing with 8k each time and also being a huge blocker on your opponent's turn. Definitely one of the best cards in the deck. He's going to be boosting up his Kaido with to 11. So basically I'm just gonna have to tank one of these attacks and block the other one. That's essentially what it is. There's no real use in me trying to block. He's going to go Onigashima. And now he's just going to pass, it looks like, yeah. I'm in a super rough spot now, to be honest, because next turn he's definitely threatening game, because he can potentially, if he wants to, swing in with a huge Kaido, and then he's actually going to Thunder Bagua here when I attack his leader. I was gonna say, he can basically buff up his Kaido to be enormous, and then if that doesn't get rid of the less security, he can, because I block, he can use the leader ability to trash it, to trash my life, and then... okay, so what I'm gonna be doing here is... the thing is, I swing with 12k here into the 12-drop Kaido, and the reason I did this is because my opponent was very obviously telegraphing that he had a counter. Like, he wasn't telegraphing it, but like... he was bluffing it super, super, super hard, like incredibly so. I'm not sure if you can see it in the video, but that's what it was. So I was quite sure he didn't have it, so I just swung in and I ended up being right. And now basically I just win the game right here because I have the Iso in my hand, which I have had for literally forever. Now I'm just going to use Tridon to suspend his guy, and we know my opponent doesn't have a counter, right? So I can just swing in basically with my 8-drop kit, and then again with my... or 7-drop kit, and then again with my leader, and the odds of him being able to counter that is... I mean, it exists, but I don't really see it happening. And yeah, we're going to see here, I'm going to unsuspend my kit, and he's just going to show he doesn't have anything to stop the attack. And yeah, that's it. If you want to see the deck profile, it is up on my channel, and I will be doing One Piece content more regularly soon. So yeah, see you in the next one.